So good morning students. We are going to start with a new topic today, a very new topic and very interesting also. That is your credit creation process by the commercial banks. Okay, credit, we all know here if we are talking about credit, then we are talking about loans. We are talking about loans over here. It is a very unique feature and a very distinct feature of every commercial banks that commercial banks as a whole, they are able to create credit. We all know that none of the commercial banks have the power to print money, to supply money. That means to print this money and to supply the money. No commercial bank in India has this power to do so. But they can create credit. The credit that they have, the deposits that they have, they are able to multiply those deposits with a particular process that we are going to discuss. That whatever deposits they have, okay, whatever we deposit in the commercial banks, okay, in form of any deposits, whether it is a savings deposit, demand deposit, current deposits, your fixed deposit, okay, they are able to lend more than that deposits. Okay, we know that the commercial bank, the major source of the money that the commercial banks get, it is from the people only, the deposits that they create. Okay, and they do not have any other money to lend. Okay, they use that money that is deposited by us into the banks for giving loans, for giving credit to the people in the society, to giving credit to the individuals, for giving credit to the business persons, to giving credit to the government organizations or to any party. All right. So the first thing you should understand that whatever deposits the commercial banks have, they are able to lend more than those deposits. Okay. Uh, how they are able to lend more than those deposits, that we are going to discuss now. The first thing, the first you can say the commercial banks are able to lend more than what they have as deposits. Okay, this is the first key term for this process, that whatever they have, whatever deposits they have in the form of different kinds of deposit, they are in the condition to lend more than these deposits. Okay, that means the loans that they will give to the public, the loans that they will distribute to the public, it will be always greater than the deposits that they have as a whole. But how they are able to do that, how they are able to sanction more loans in the economy with the less number of deposits, that is, this process is only known as your credit creation process, because we can see that deposits are limited, whatever we are depositing. But when the loan amount of loan is counted, when the value of loan is counted in the economy, it is always greater than the deposits that the commercial banks have created. Then the next thing we have to discuss regarding this topic is that there are two types of deposits that are generally created by the commercial banks. First is your primary deposit. Okay, primary deposit is nothing, whatever we deposit into the bank, the money of the people, whatever a savings bank individual is depositing, whatever a current account holder is depositing, whatever a fixed deposit holder is depositing. Okay, that is your creation of primary deposit. All right, what is you can say a basic feature of primary deposit? What it is doing, it is just converting the currency in hand, cash in hand, into cash at bank. It just converts, it is just converting cash in hand, that means whatever cash is lying with us, to cash at bank. Okay, and in this process, when the money goes from our pockets to the bank, when we deposit our money to the bank, then somewhere our purchasing power is reduced. Okay, somewhere our ultimate purchasing power is reduced, or the cash availability with us has been reduced. So the cash availability reduces with public. Okay, so it leads to the reduction in the cash availability with the public. However, there are second type of deposits that are known as the secondary deposits, or very frequently known as derivative deposits. What these deposits are: see, whenever commercial banks sanction any loan, whenever they advance any loan, they do not give that loan amount in the hands of that borrower. What they do, they open an account in the name of that borrower, certainly a current account they open in the name of the borrower. And what they do, they transfer that money into that account. All right, they transfer that money into that account. That has been done in cash credit also, that is done in overdraft facility also, that is done in outright loans also, and that is done while discounting the bills of exchange. The commercial banks do not give money to the borrowers in their hands. Rather, they open an account in the name of the borrower, and accordingly, the borrower can withdraw the money. Okay. So how the secondary deposits are differentiating from the primary deposits? You are seeing that in the primary deposit, it is converting whatever cash we have uh, into the deposit, into the bank deposits. But these are creating bank deposits. The currency, the cash is not going from the hands of the public, rather this cash is being transferred by that particular bank into the account opened in the name of the borrower. So it is not reducing the cash availability with the public, because the money is not going out from my pocket as it was going in the while any primary deposit account was opened, like your savings account, current account, or fixed deposit. But in your secondary or derivative deposit, what is happening? Banks are creating deposits. Okay, they are not converting the deposits, they are not converting the currency of the public into the bank deposits. Rather, they are creating bank deposits without reduction in any cash availability with the public. So with the help of these secondary or derivative deposits only, the banks are able to create credit. Okay, you should be knowing that these derivative deposits or these secondary deposits account only leads to the credit creation in the economy. Okay, so all these things must be clear. These are the basic building blocks of the whole uh, credit creation process. First thing is that what is credit creation? It shows that commercial banks have more, uh, you can say, availability of money. They can lend more than whatever they have as primary deposits. And why they're able to lend more? Because of creation of derivative deposits that are being created without reducing the cash availability with the public. Okay, so it is your secondary or derivative deposit that will lead to the creation in credit. So what does commercial banks do? Their deposits, whatever we deposit as primary deposit, I'm talking about primary deposits over here. Whatever primary deposits they have as a whole, they divide it into two parts: legal cash reserve and excess reserve. The legal cash reserve, these funds are used for honoring the day-to-day transactions of the banks. For example, any customer goes and he needs to withdraw the money, and the customers withdraw the money from ATM, they have to transfer funds from one account to the other account, they have to pay at POS, okay, with the help of debit cards. So for honoring the day-to-day transactions, cash part of deposits are kept for as a Legal cash reserves, that if any customer comes or the customers are withdrawing the cash from the ATM, they are not denied because the money is withdrawable. We know that the commercial bank deposits are withdrawable in nature. It is up to the customer that when and how much he or she has to withdraw. So this legal cash reserve ratio is kept by the commercial banks for honoring the day-to-day transactions. Day-to-day transactions, because there are many day-to-day transactions that the commercial bank has to honor. Okay, and whatever is left out from these deposits after maintaining the cash reserve, they use that money as excess reserve, and from this excess reserve they sanction loans. They sanction loans. See, every commercial bank knows with its experience that एक दिन में सारा पैसा withdraw नहीं हो जाता है. इसी वजह से सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे कुछ लिमिटेशंस है, कुछ बाउंडेशंस है. कमर्शियल बैंक्स में रोज पैसा आता है, पैसा जाता है, कितना पैसा आता है, कितना पैसा जाता है. कमर्शियल बैंक्स नो कि एक ही दिन में हमारा ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे लोग आ जाएंगे और कह देंगे हमारा प्राइमरी डिपॉजिट हमें विड्रॉ करना है. ओके, बहुत सारे डिपॉजिट्स करते हैं, बहुत सारे विड्रॉ करते हैं. सो उनको एक आइडिया होता है कि हमें कितना कैश रिजर्व रखना चाहिए डे टू डे अपने टोटल प्राइवेट डिपॉजिट में से, सो दैट वी आर एबल टू ऑनर द डे टू डे ट्रांजैक्शंस ऑफ आवर कस्टमर्स. और जो बचा हुआ पार्ट होता है, दे यूज दैट लेफ्ट ओवर पार्ट for sanctioning loans to the public. Okay, so this thing you should know, that with their experience, they know that a very small fraction of their primary deposit will be used for the day-to-day transactions, and whatever is left out with the commercial banks, they use that money for sanctioning loans. So we have to take certain assumptions to explain this example. The legal cash reserve ratio is 20%. That means whatever primary deposits the commercial banks receive, the 20% they have to keep for honoring the day-to-day transactions of the customers, and the excess, that means the जो 80% बचा होगा, they use that whole money in providing the loans. That we are also assuming that whole excess reserve, that means the 80% is used for sanctioning loans. इसमें से कुछ भी बैंक नहीं बचा रहा है, पूरा 80% loans दिए दे. And there are many banks like Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, Canara Bank, and so on. Whatever examples you want, you can take. And in Bank of Baroda, there is a particular customer like Priyam Dixit. He deposits 1,000 rupees in his savings account. Okay, in his savings account. So these are the four assumptions. These are the four assumptions that we have taken for discussing the credit creation process. So students, with the help of this table, I will show you the working of the cash credit. Okay, that means you will study that how much they are able to create credit. So I have told you all that in the first round, I am taking the first round, Bank of Baroda, okay, Bank of Baroda receives 1,000 rupees as primary deposits from Priyam. Okay, who is the depositor over here? The depositor, you can write the name of the depositor. Name of the depositor is Priyam. And which bank it is? You can write bank name also. It will be easy for you to understand. This is the Bank of Baroda. Okay, so we all know that if Priyam has deposited 1,000 rupees in the Bank of Baroda, then according to the legal cash reserve ratio, they have to keep this 20% of 1,000 rupees as the legal reserve ratio for for honoring the customers, for honoring the day-to-day transactions of the customers. So 20% of 1000 rupees, it would be how much? 200 rupees. Okay, and what is the excess reserve left? That is 800 rupees. This 800 rupees Bank of Baroda will use in sanctioning loan. For example, Saif goes to the Bank of Baroda and he needs 800 rupees as loan. Okay, so Bank of Baroda lends this rupees 800 to Saif. Okay, so now from the 1000 deposit, they have kept 20% as cash reserve, and the excess reserve they have lent to Saif. Okay, now Saif will use this money. We are assuming that Saif is using this money for some business purpose, and he purchased some goods from Asad. Okay, and he paid that 800 rupees to Asad. Okay, he pays those 800 rupees to Asad. So now what happens when he will pay the 800 rupees to Asad? Okay, he will pay in check. Okay, or even if he pays in cash. So what Asad will do? For example, Saif pays 800 rupees to Asad in check. So, and Asad has the account in the Punjab National Bank. Asad has account in the Punjab National Bank. So his account will increase by 800 rupees. The depositor over here is Asad. Saif has purchased some goods from Asad, and he has the money, it got transferred from Saif's account to Asad's account. After purchasing goods from Asad, he makes payment. Again, the primary deposit of the Punjab National Bank now, it has increased by 800 rupees. Again, they have to keep 20% of 800 rupees. So 20% of 800 rupees, it is around 160 rupees. And whatever is left out, that is rupees 640, they will use this loan again for lending. For instance, they lend this 640 rupees to Priyanshu. They lend this 640 rupees to Priyanshu, and Priyanshu is also in business. And what he does, Priyanshu is also in business, and what he does, he purchased some goods from Mansi. Okay, he purchased some goods from Mansi and makes payment to Mansi. Okay, now in the third case, we see that Mansi has account in Canara Bank. Okay, Mansi has account in Canara Bank. So this 640 rupees in the third round will be transferred to Mansi's account after receiving the payment from Priyanshu. Here depositor is Mansi. And again, this Canara Bank has to keep 20% of 640 rupees as the legal cash reserve ratio. It is your 128 rupees, and the excess reserve they will use for providing loans, that is your 512 rupees. Okay, so again the Canara Bank will lend this money to someone